Hey Chandler. Hey Robert.
Hi.
All right,
Hey.
we are still in the waiting room. We're about to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Let me look at the attendee list. Oh shoot.
At 37 so far. Oh, wait.
Okay, I'm gonna start the webinar. Folks should be coming over. Blake has his link. It's too hot of a weekend for the hoodie today. Robert.
I gotta wear something that's WWB unbranded, so
I know.
I got to.
Yeah, get you a new t-shirt then. Good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a little bit. Want to check in. Our team is going to make sure we are. Hold on one second. We are. Let's see here. I'm going to allow share screen. I think we've got our chats enabled. Our Q&A. Yep, people can chat with us. You should be able to mute upon entry for folks. All right. Alrighty, perfect. Going to keep letting folks pop in. Give me one. We're going to keep populating, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Robert, just keep us here. If you can stay screen on, just so people keep seeing that amazing Women Black Men thing. Chandler, we're going to try to see if we're on Twitch. I don't know how we can do that, but we're going to try to see if we can make it work. Hey, David Grant, good to see you from Rochester, New York. Here we go. All right, oh 06. Up to 52. Okay. Thanks, Chandler. See, how could we also? I will send you the YouTube thing. See how we might be able to do it on Facebook and IG or maybe Twitch. But let's play around with it and see how it can work, and then we'll take it from there.
Cool.
Okay. I'm working on the chat feature right now. I thought that was. It's able for you to chat with us. I thought, but let me check. Okay. Should be done. All right. You should be able to chat with us now. Check that chat feature. Yep, there we go, Chris. Okay, thank you, thank you.
Hey, what's going on, Chris? Hey, Dale, Dane. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining. Kenneth, yep. Good to see you guys are engaged in the chat. Hey, Kenneth, good evening. Thanks for joining. Hey, Jay. Maryland State Captain Jay Wilson, thanks for joining.
Chris asked a great question. Let's go ahead and type in your state.
All from Cali, thanks.
Yeah. Paul, we need some help on the West Coast. Robert's gonna DM you right now. Reach out to him if we could get you to be a state captain. Let's see who else we got. What other states we got here tonight represented? I saw Rochester was in the house. Rochester, New York,
California,
okay.
Florida, Georgia, Washington, South Carolina, North Carolina, Baltimore, New Jersey, Texas, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Virginia, Las Vegas.
Okay. I don't think we have we're waiting on two of our special guests to join us. For those of you been tracking Women with Black Men this past week, and all the amazing news, we're gonna go ahead and hop right on in it. I think Chandler, how are we doing on let's see, Chris Odom. Oh, sorry, it's host and panelist. So if you all are texting, Robert and I are able to save the chat, and so we're making sure we can continue back with you. But we'll see if we can find a different format for our first call in June. But amazing news here at Women with Black Men. We decided to endorse, and I know I got some of my ice cold brothers on tonight, but it was not intentional that it was two alpha men out the gate that we are endorsing of our 2025 endorsements. But Mayor Ras Baraka of Newark, New Jersey, who's running to be the next governor of New Jersey. On Friday, we endorsed his campaign. We are trying to work with his team. I think he's actually at a live debate right now. And so when things were flying back and forth, we got a yes, and then we had to make some adjustments. So we're hoping he's going to jump on board. Good to see you all, Roosevelt. All right, Daryl, there we go. It was not intentional that this would become an interest meeting for my favorite fraternity, but it is what it is. Okay, thank you, Chandler. Let's see how we can do that next time and keep that in the mix. And then our second endorsement was with Michael Blake, one of our co-conveners, who's really been with us in the fight, with me in the fight since back in 2006, 2007. God, I can't believe we're almost approaching 20 years of our amazing friendship. But he is running to be the next mayor of the great city of New York. We know that it's a hotly contested race, but what we're excited about is seeing how we can get engaged with him as well as Mayor Baraka and really bring Black men out to vote. Our ethos still stands, though. We are here to do the work of engagement with Black men around this great community. In perpetuity. So it isn't just about one particular election. It is about engaging Black men in all communities. And so Robert, who leads our program team, Jeremy, who leads our fundraising and development, and Chandler, who is joining tonight, she is helping us, making sure integrations and pointing out where we need have some gaps and some help. But we're actually going to crowdsource this tonight. So we are looking to bring on into our team on an hourly basis someone to help us think through. Hey, Gerald, good to see you. Gerald actually was trying to join one of our buses, and we were still trying to get things together last year. Gave us some wise advice. Happy to have you here, Gerald. I think that's the same Gerald Higginbottom that was with us before. Robert, why don't you go ahead and reach out to him? I'd love to set up a call with him in the near future. But we're going to crowdsource this with all of you are on. The 72 of you have joined us this evening. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Where we are trying to figure out someone who has the expertise in Zoom, as well as helping us run these calls as they get bigger, but as well as we're trying, and this is exactly why we need someone's help, because we're trying to do some co-hosting things, and it's not letting me make you a co-host. But you're a panelist, so you should be able to see everybody. Can you not see everybody, Robert?
Yeah, I can see everybody, but I'm just not able to send messages out.
All right, let me see what I can do on that. Give me 1 sec. 1 second, everybody. I'm going to try to fix this. But that's why we need somebody's help. We are looking for someone to come in and help us do the back end of these events and truly give us the opportunity. There we go. There you go, Robert. You should be good now. To integrate it with our YouTube, our Twitch, our Facebook, and our IG lives, and make sure this is all set up to go. So if anybody's interested, you're more than welcome to shoot us a quick email, Khalil@womenwithblackmen.org or Robert@womenwithblackmen.org. We'd love to help on this side, and we can take it from there. Oh, okay. I think you got a nice little chat in there or suggestion for you, Robert. So let me text. I'm going to text Brother Blake, see where he is at right now, see if we can get him on. So get him a part of this. Yep. So thank you,
Thank
Jay.
you.
Jay, we've got it on YouTube. We're also trying to make sure we're streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitch account. But we're going to have that done by June. So Chandler is here seeing where we might have some gaps and we could use some helps to fix that. Okay. All right, let's go into what else we're seeing that's happening this week. Also wanted to call out, we wanted to call out folks for this past week. In a couple of weeks, we've been running a mental health um, initiative over here at Women Black Men, as May is, and Chandler, correct me if I'm wrong, May is Men's Mental Health Month.
Yes. Okay. Actually, it's mental health awareness in general.
Mental Health Awareness Month is in May. And we have been getting out some amazing content and resources for everyone, as well as our resource email. If you haven't had a chance, you can visit winwithblackmen.org, click up the top and get your Tuesday resource email. Our team is very much making sure that we have information in there that is vital to Black men that goes out to them every Tuesday. And then it gets uploaded onto our website so you can receive it there if you don't already get it into your inbox. But a part of this work, and speaking personally with family members and loved ones and friends who struggle, even myself sometimes, struggles with our mental health challenges, we want to make sure we can support each other. And that's okay. Like it is hard enough to wake up every day and just be in this world with all the challenges that we face, let alone being a Black man in this world when we walk out. That doesn't matter if you work in the C-suite or if you are reporting to whatever job you may have. It doesn't matter if you live in California or if you live in Rochester, DC, or Ohio. There are stresses and microaggressions that we engage with every single day. I happen to be driving home just this evening, literally about 2 hours ago, and someone wasn't so kind in their driving capabilities and cut me and my daughter off. And I had to take a second with that aggression, and something was exchanged in the conversation as they were driving by us, and then had to explain to her what that meant and how we went on with our day. But I am still having to bury that, make sure she's safe, continue to get us home safely, and then be here with you all. I think we've all experienced that, many of us who are Black men on this call right now. And so we want to make sure that we provide resources, don't let those microaggressions take over our days and our lives, and continue to uplift. And so, just checking on your fellow brother. I know my line brothers do it for me regularly. My family, even more so, does it for me on a regular basis. My brother and my sister, both of my parents who reach out to me just to check in on me. I may not always be the best in following back as quickly as I possibly can, but I know mainly those 4 individuals in the immediate family, and then core group of friends and my 12 other line brothers. I love all of them dearly and want to make sure that we support each other. So, whether it's a new program that we're going to come out with mental health in June for our Father's Day, and we have a couple of programming that we're going to be doing there, we're excited to share these resources with each and every one of you so that you can follow up and be a part of this. Next, we are constantly making sure you're aware of what's happening, not only at the federal level, but how that impacts you at the local level. And the goal here is if something's happening around student loans, how does that relate? And so we're trying very hard. We can't do it for all 50 states and territories, but we're trying to make sure you know what's happening at a federal and national level coming out of this administration. It's not the best. It's not the best who is. We know that person doesn't necessarily have all of our interests at heart. We understand there are some brothers who saw something in the economics about why they voted. I disagree. I disagree with shredding the Constitution and just throwing it away. While it wasn't originally enshrined to protect me and many of us on this call, I love it as a document for what a republic and a democracy can and should strive to be. I'm going to pause real quick here. Darrell, thank you. Again, we are able to see your chats coming in. Robert is triaging those in real time, and we're responding back to you in the webinar format. Yes, if you've had a Zoom meeting in the past with any one of your friends, family, or work, there is a chat for you. But this way, the panelists can engage back and forth. And we've tried to see this in some of our other cases. It's a way for us to make sure we're, if you want to reach out to us and highlight something you're doing, we can bring you up. We can do that as well. But we're really making sure we're tackling in and giving you all not only our resource email, but in our social media, issues and topics that really speak to Black men in the community. And we were talking with the team, which is a very small team, on Friday on how we can relate that information back to you better, specifically for Black men, and being more cognizant of that. Another thing that we're working on right now is our state captain program. Sorry, before I get to our barbershops. Our state captain program. Rob is going to talk a little bit about that in just a second, but we are really crowdsourcing in many of the states that we're working. We have 3 that we're targeting right now. 13 that we're targeting right now to get work on the ground. But we know many of you from Tennessee have filled out, hey, I want to do a barbershop talk. You might live in Kentucky. And I know you all are getting or you just had the Derby, but you may be in Montana and want to host a Shape It Up conversation in your city or in your town or in your state. We want to. We want to make sure that we can engage with you as best as we possibly can, so that we can make this a national movement of state captains. So right now, much like Women with Black Women, our state captains are volunteering and leading in. We're asking them to do 3 things in their state. Host at least one Shape It Up barbershop conversation a month. Lean in on our push call program that we're doing, which we're training people in order to step up, whether it's at the local level or at the national level. And then the third piece is find at least 10 more volunteers that can come out and be a part of this program in their state. Robert, did I leave anything out about our state captain program?
Yeah, also finding 10 more people to bring to our convening calls.
That's what it was. Right.
Yeah.
10 more people to bring to our convening calls. Forgive me. So our barbershops, push call trainings, and 10 more people to come to our convening calls. I've texted Brother Blake, trying to see where he's at so we can get him on. I know he is ripping and running in this campaign, but we want to make sure we support him. And Mayor Baraka, what I've gotten the word from his team is Chris Odom wants to know how many 06 brothers do we have on the call tonight. I know it's a lot, so I will try to count those as many as we can. But we've got a packed house that we're growing. I think we're going to hit 100 tonight, and that's okay. We know these are the stalwarts that show up twice a month to join us on these calls. Okay, we got Eric Young tagging in. Robert, if you scroll back up and you want to just call out real quick for me while I text Brother Blake how many other folks did the 06 really quick, and then we'll see where we are. Let me just text him.
We have Roosevelt Charles in Virginia 06. Let's see. Eric Young. I believe those were only 2.
No, there are more. I know there's more.
Yep.
I'm gonna help you out real quick. Let me scroll back up. Here we go. Oh, there he is. Right, real quick before we go over to Brother Blake, I know we've got a couple other gentlemen over here from Daryl Jones. I'm sorry, you got him. Maybe that was it. Okay. Eric Young, Chris Burrows, Daryl Smith,
Dr. Anya.
Dr. OK Anya, my favorite brother who stood behind me. I love it. And actually inducted our soon-to-be mayor of New York, Michael Blake, in his chapter over at Northwestern. Without further ado, everyone, I want to introduce a man I've known, and Blake, I was just realizing it'll be close to 20 years next year that we've known each other. The man is running to represent the great state of New York. My brother and my sister live there. I have family that is there. I believe he can be a changing force for good, to lead not only a city, but hopefully a beacon for this entire nation to show us how we respect each other that may be different, that welcomes the Huddle's masters to their shores and can welcome them with open arms, but also provide fiscal responsibility for one of our great cities in this country. Michael Blake, as you know, is an amazing community organizer, a minister, a husband, a truly a good man, and I am excited to have him on. Brother Blake, we're going to spotlight you right now, and I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can give us your message, and we can start getting you. Let's go ahead. There you go. Over to you, Michael Blake.
Brother Thompson, it's great to say that in a formal sense now. Right. Now cross over to the light of output. Grateful for you, proud of you, and for the camaraderie that we all keep building here, and for your continued leadership here with Women with Black Men, to keep it all going well after the election. We know it's necessary, and so just grateful for you. Grateful for you. For all the brothers on the line, thank you for all that you continue to do. Much love to every single one of you. You keep me encouraged. You keep me going. You keep us all going as we're all building. The sound you're hearing is I'm in the Bronx right now. We've been crisscrossing the city, and of course, you get the sounds of the little icy truck vehicles out here. We did one of our largest calls when Vice President Harris decided to make the run for president. And that's because President Biden decided to not move forward. And I want to start there. That I'm not sure if that's been stated already, but our prayers absolutely with President Biden on the news of him having prostate cancer, and us supporting him and being with his family right now. Brothers, for anyone that is hearing for the first time, Michael Blake, been grateful to be one of the leads with Women Black Men, of course, with Khalil and Quentin and Roland and Bakari, and so many others that we've been rocking. And we're grateful for you all day, every day. I'm coming to you as a candidate for mayor of New York City. Take care, y'all. Blessings. I just left from a mayoral forum, so that's where I'm outside right now. I was in four of the 5 boroughs today. So we've been Christian on 3 of the 5 boroughs today. Why are we running? Because I want to show that we can have the next generation of Black male leadership. And I'm thankful for the endorsement of Women with Black Men and the support. I'm running because we want to be serious about what we do around Black business and Black male business getting greater access to capital and contracts. We want to be very focused around what we're doing very specifically around boys and young men of color with a new My Brother's Keeper program. We want to be very intentional around what we do on housing and ending credit scores being used for rent and home ownership applications, being very specific around expanding income thresholds when it comes to housing applications as well, because you shouldn't have to be rich or poor enough to get access to a home. Changing the game so we can actually have true intentional mental health support with 1,000 mental health professionals that are going out into our subways and our communities, and not having police address mental health concerns because they have not been trained on that, so that they can focus on addressing the serious crimes that are happening in our communities. Helping people make money, keep more money, and change the game before they get involved at Rikers. Because if you help someone have a job and keep a job, then they're probably not looking to steal something or get involved in any criminal injustice, but also be focused on second chances and turning lives around. Brothers, right now, we need you. This is an election where the main name people are seeing is Andrew Cuomo, the former governor. But I'm saying very clearly, you don't have to go back to an old name. You can go to a new one that changed the game. And if you want to change the game, you have to change the mayor. The election is June 24th. That's the last day to vote. But I want to be very clear, though, that early voting starts June 14th. And prior to that is absentee voting, which has begun. Now, one of the timeliness of this call, on one of the many reasons why we need you, is that we are preparing and getting ready for arguably the most critical fundraising deadline we've had on the campaign, which is tomorrow night. Donations, brothers, are part of the criteria to be on the debate stages in June. There's only 2 debates, June 4th and June 12th. And what I'm asking, if there's anything you take away from this call, is not only does my family need your prayers and your support, but I'm asking that anyone you know in New York City to encourage them to rank me first. We have ranked choice voting here, where you can go from the first choice of you're voting for mayor for your 5th choice. I want to be everyone's first choice that's a New York City resident, no question about that. But if for some reason I'm not, I want to be their second choice. And if not, then I want to be their third choice. So that's the first thing I'm asking. Second, I am asking if you will donate what you can tonight or tomorrow before midnight, because again, donations are a part of the criteria to be on debate stages. Very specifically, the most that someone can donate is $2,100, but the first $250 is matched, eligibly matched 8-1 by New York City residents. Now, anyone can contribute from anywhere, but we need your help to be able to do this and do this at scale. Lastly, anyone you know that has time that can help me remotely with phone calls, with volunteering, we need you because we've got to build this bigger organization because of all that's happening. So again, if you believe that we can do this better, and I know, I'm not sure if Mayor Barack already spoke or not, but we see what's happening in the country right now. They're attacking Black men in every possible way. But we have an opportunity to have someone in the seat who can help us. And as the only person in this race who's been a part of a team that's defeated Donald Trump, only person in this race who has White House, State House, and local experience, I want to be serious in what we do. I want a local median income because I don't think area median income is working for us. I want to be focused on what we do around My Brother's Keeper program, as I mentioned. I want to end credit scores for rent and homeownership applications. We want to be intentional and put more money in people's pocket and keeping more money in your pocket. Very specifically around Black business because MWB is being attacked. And we should not have ICE at our schools and our places of worship and our community centers. And immigration conversations are not just for the Latino community. That's Caribbean and African. That's all of us intertwined. I'm a son of Jamaican immigrants. I'm named after Michael Manley Alexander Bustamante. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm an alpha. I'm a reverend. I'm a Prince Hall Mason. I'm a 100 Black man. We've been doing this work. And we need you right now to change the game for our city. So no matter where you live, you care about New York City. And I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for your belief. I'm asking for your support. So again, my name is Michael Blake. The website's in the chat. I'm going to put the contribution link in the chat. I am asking, please, help us so we can help more people. It's game time and we can do this with you, brothers. Brother Thompson, I'm happy to take any questions that folks may have, but I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
Of course, and thank you, Brother Blake. You know, we had Minister William McGee says he heard you on Urban View and learned a great deal of your plan. Why don't I ask this? So we know there are 5 major boroughs in New York, and obviously immigration who are not just, as you said, we share that lovely lineage to that great island of Jamaica. We want to know, what is your plan for immigration in New York as people are coming in, and how would you handle it as the mayor of New York?
Well, one thing I know, Brother Chris Ellis just sent a message that he needs to be admitted in somehow. He actually just sent me a text while we've been here. So I am going to answer that question.
Okay. It's open, so he should be able to get in right away. And then Reverend Kenneth Curl says, thank you for the Act Blue link. We'll make sure we keep posting that up and getting that back over to folks while they're here and continue to support Act Blue, a good sister running it.
Grateful. So to the immigration question, Brother Thompson, if you just give me the open link in the chat, I'll copy and paste and send it to Brother Ellis. But first, look, Venezuela is the largest community that's coming in of the recent immigrants. But again, we are a city of immigrants, so we have to be embracing our people. And we cannot allow the rhetoric to exist that has been so negative against our communities, where MAGA Trump nonsense is making people believe that immigrants are bad. There's nothing bad about our immigrants. We're amazing. We're incredible. And you can't run our cities. You can't lead our cities with us being involved and being engaged, you know? And so to that degree, first, I want to figure out what is happening in the countries where someone is coming from so that you give the ability to transition in easily and more safely and comfortably when someone gets here. So connect with the nonprofit partners so that nonprofits can actually get engaged with the women, men, children, and families. Have greater language access. Have direct opportunities where there's housing, where nonprofits are connecting people to provide that housing. Be intentional around the schools so that schools understand that we are finding more ways for students to be acclimated while equally we are dedicated around the job opportunities that have to be established as well at the same time. ICE has no business at our places of worship, nor our churches, nor our community centers, nor our schools. That is not what we would do. ICE is only permitted if there's a signed judicial warrant, and we will make sure that that clarification is given for people, as well as creating that our schools are safe havens so that people are protected in what is all happening. So we're taking those kind of serious, very serious steps to be able to help our people. And if we take those approaches, that is the way we can actually make sure that immigration is treated in the fairest, most humane, and appropriate way as possible.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to economics for the city of New York. How could you make sure that there is an equitable and culturally competent playing field so that vendors and contractors that wish to do business with the city of New York have a greater chance to look like many of the men on this call and the people joining this call tonight? You're on mute.
I'm on a Zoom right now, but I'm happy. Oh. For CEC, absolutely.
And what is your vision on mayor?
Blake, go on mute real quick. We'll talk about.
Well, wait.
Okay, so we see that Brother Blake is probably doing an interview right now while he is running outside the debate, and as he's finishing that up, gentlemen, what's your question for Brother Blake when he comes back on? Why don't you go ahead and throw that in the chat? Chris, I'm glad we've got you tapped in. We're going to get you going to be our next state captain in your state. I'm going to see where you are again. Out in Cali. I love it. Go ahead. There's a question that you wanted to ask Brother Blake. Let's see how we can get these in here. Okay. Bill, do you have a metric to determine the effectiveness of your efforts and leadership? Far too many desire leadership but can't or won't structure accountability. Okay, Bill, that's the next question up when Brother Blake comes back online with us. Others, we've got him here. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna come back. No, I'll go back this way. We are all here. Let's see what other things we've got in the chat. What do we've got? We got 91 on you on right now. Let's see. I call out anybody that has a question for the next mayor of New York. This is your opportunity. Brother Blake will be back on in just a second as he finishes off his interview. AMI and LMI. Brother Bill, you might have to help me there. What's the difference between AMI and LMI? I'm sure I know it, but it's late on a Sunday. And after yesterday and today's familial and fraternal responsibility.
Okay.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Your question earlier was, you were asking me about economic focus, was what you asked me before. It was a parent who's on the school district council came over right now. First, we got to be very specific and direct about Black business. MWB is not going to be direct and specific enough for us, especially in this environment right now where things are being diluted and actually not helping us in a very direct and continual way. Second, in order to do that, there has to be dedicated pipelines with specific policy benchmarks and percentage benchmarks around access to capital, access to contracting, counseling, as well as changing the underwriting rules so that we actually have greater protection to be able to get in the game. In order to do so, we have to reimagine what's happening in the $114 billion budget, to be intentional around what funding streams are actually going to us, as well as how are we substantially increasing wages for Black New Yorkers, to do that in the same regard, so that contracting and subcontracting are intertwined within that for us accordingly. And so that is the immediate answer to the question there. I see the note about AMI and LMI. Thank you very much there. Your plan of action to address attacks on access to education. Well, ironically, that's timely to what just happened here. This woman who walked up to me is on the Community Education Council here for District 10, which is the district I grew up in. We need to make sure that there is policy, legal, and funding protection given the attacks that happen in education right now. We see that you have the continued dynamics that are happening from DC in large part because of an anti-Blackness and an anti-Latino and agenda itself. in order to make sure we are protecting our Black history consistently in the curriculum itself. An expansion of My Brother's Keeper and My Sister's Keeper can do that, as well as ensuring that, again, that we establish that schools are created as safe havens, as well as ensuring that the curriculum is not being diluted so that we are actually not teaching our history, but rather promoting it to a greater degree. And simultaneously ensuring that the budget streams are equally there. I would take away funds that are happening right now. You have NYPD overtime funding that's happening to a degree that's simply too high. If we change that itself, we would then have the funding opportunities to make sure that, given the attacks that are coming from DC, that our schools and education system can still thrive and excel the way they need to.
Perfect. We've got one more over here in the questions. Do you have a measure to or metric determine the effectiveness of your efforts in leadership? Far too many desire leadership but can't or won't structure accountability. How would you create accountability as mayor of New York?
Bye again. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you. I think the first piece, I think about it from a housing perspective. How's the Trump connection? How's the Trump connection getting in there? Is that all I want? Oh, it's real. I mean, let me answer the one in the chat. I'll come back to that. It's palpable. I mean, they're pissed, they're frustrated, they're very angry about Eric's direct connection to Trump. I mean, Trump literally said in the Oval Office last week that Mayor Adams came to DC to thank him for dropping the charges. And so there's a dynamic happening here where people are like, do you think the city is ready for another Black mayor? And I say, obviously, yes. And I said, would we ask that of a white mayor? Would we ask that of a white candidate? No. And so our job has to be, no, I got to do a social media spot in a second. But the next piece has to be intertwined around showing people that, as opposed to what Eric has done, where effectively immigration policies were going to be going down the Trump route for the purpose of him staying out of jail, that we're going to safeguard our city through our budget protections as well as our legal and policy protections to do so otherwise. And so, Khalil, to the metrics question, I think we need to have at least 600,000 units that are built out over the next 10 years at a minimum. There's about 540,000 units that are needed right now to address the affordability crisis. I do believe from a data standpoint that we have to raise wages to be at a minimum at living wage, not minimum wage, which essentially is going to be $67 for those of a family of two, and which minimum wage is simply too low. I do think we have to equally determine and implement the true cost of living. If we do that, along with local median income, we would then understand what is the income threshold that people have to be at to be able to actually save money substantially. Take good care. And if we take those kinds of steps, we'll be able to know from a data standpoint, from a wage standpoint, where they need to be. We'll be able to know concretely from a housing standpoint where we need to be. And then I think lastly, we need to be able to build out and rock out on improving the pedagogy and literacy substantially pre to third grade, because that is the greatest determinative factor of what happens around education long term. What would you do to encourage? What would you do to encourage or discourage New York Blacks to do right now all enough? So I think the question here of not having our Blackness being implemented in all programming. We saw the Costco Target dynamic as example to be very intentional and checking a bully. Lessening the fears. Look, I think we have to make it clear to folks that they have to have not only legal protection in these hearings, but also have to have better communication and education that's happening, so people know that they are being protected given what's happening with ICE. But very specifically, if we give people more funding and protect it through city funds, they will know that regardless of what's happening in DC, that they're still able to implement these programs that are connected to DEI and Blackness. To the civic engagement, especially around ranked choice voting, we have to make it very clear to folks to not just vote for one candidate, but to vote for all five, and that we want to be their first choice and encourage people to break down all the different vote options that they have. Around mental health.
You keep going. I want to make sure. Hold on, before you go there, I want to shout out. You got a contribution from Daryl Jones. He went
I
on
saw
and
that,
made.
man. Thank you, Daryl. I saw that right there.
Then Kevin Allen wanted to give you your props. He said he heard you speak at the CBTU and the APRI back in 2010. Again, reiterating in our questions feature, question and answer feature, you have a track record! Exclamation point. Corian Keener was making to see if you had a backup to Act Blue just in case. With the attacks that are happening there, you could still receive contributions. And then I know you're in the chat as well, looking at what efforts are being made to educate, not indoctrinate the electorate, and the importance of learning, understanding of civic engagement. I think you spoke to that. And then mental health. He wanted to ask, how can learning and communication are pain points impacting everyone, especially young men through their 40s? Young men are experiencing physical issues with complex thinking, sleep, and not everybody can see the chat. That's why I'm reading it, Blake. Sleep analysis and decision making. How would you, as mayor, help support mental health of not only all citizens, but especially young Black men?
Well, that was like four in a row, so I was separated up to go slower. Thank you for the support that's happening here. Raven, to the efforts around it's around civic engagement. We need to make it a point to make the practical connection of how policies are helping people very directly and concretely. Too often, we don't have a schoolhouse rock like we used to have back in the day. And so that's part of the reason why I think it's essential to have that incorporated in. Thank you for the contribution also, Kenneth and Daryl earlier. The DAS culture in the process of heal. Look, I think we need to make it a point to incorporate all elements of our history so it's not lost in all this cycle that is happening around our Blackness. To expose men and young men to education advocacy. I think that was tied to my previous comment. But as it relates to mental health, I do believe that civics, financial literacy, and mental health needs to be intertwined within education, as well as more Black male therapists, Black and brown male therapists who can help address the dynamic and the gap that exists around mental health or the lack thereof. Because that will then be addressing the dynamics intertwined. I think I answered each of the questions there, Khalil, that I was able to hear from there.
Yeah, you got it.
And so,
go
ahead.
No, Gerald Higginbottom says, we have an American slave culture, America first.
Oh, yeah, no, that one I addressed.
Okay, you got that one? Okay. I think Kenneth Young just made a contribution to you a couple minutes ago, so appreciate that, Kenneth. And I think, as Blake, what's your closing remarks and how you want people to go in these files? I know you need not only the money that jingles, but the money that folds to help this campaign keep moving. So we have the ACLO account right there in the link and in the chat for folks to contribute to your campaign. But how else can we support you? We know many of us have friends and family in New York. Obviously, we can support you for those that live outside. What else can we do to support your campaign?
Thank you for the question. So look, I do have to start. I just want to be very linear that for the next 28 hours, the most concrete way that you can help is by donating what you can. The most you can do is $2,100. And specifically identifying anyone you know who lives in New York City, family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, your boo or your boo's boo, to contribute, because New York City donations are part of the criteria, especially for debates. And as I mentioned, the first $250 of New York City donations get matched 8-1. And so please donate what you can, everybody, brothers. We need you. I really need you here. Shout out to Brother Chris Ellis and all his leadership in Alpo. We highlighted him. Hello, little one. Little one on a bike waving at me. There you go. Second, we need to educate people about ranked choice voting and to please let people know that I'm asking that they rank me first on the ballot. Absentee ballots have gone out. Early voting starts June 14th. Day of voting is June 24th. If I'm not their first choice, I want to be their second choice. If I'm not their second choice, I want to be their third choice. But they have 5 choices they can make. I'm asking that I get ranked. And we need people to help us volunteering. And so again, I'll put this back in the chat here. I am asking brothers to please reach out to me if you are able and willing to help us remotely with the campaign. I did also include to the earlier question if Act Blue went down, other ways to contribute. So I just added that link in there as well. But this is the volunteer link. So I just put in the chat my emails as well as the volunteer link to be able to help us all across the board. If you might have time with policy, you can say, hey, I can help you out with writing of some policy or submitting a questionnaire. You might know some people that are looking for volunteer experience and they can help us at events. You may be able to help us with some writing or some digital or some communications, whatever it may be. We need the help because we're running across the city. So again, please donate what you can either tonight or by tomorrow night by 11:59 Eastern. Please reach out to your networks and let them know about ranking, and please encourage people to volunteer, and yourselves included. I would be incredibly grateful to you.
Well, Brother Blake, glad I get to say that. Michael, thank you for taking some time out of the campaign trail to join us here tonight. I know many of the men and those that have joined us. And again, we are streaming this actually live on our YouTube right now, on our YouTube channel. So you can go back and share this with others, this amazing endorsement that we had tonight for you to be the next mayor of New York. We're excited for you, brother. Excited to see what you're going to do and lead that amazing city. We will continue to look out for you and bless over you. I know you got to get back to the trail. We will be back here the first Sunday in June. Mayor Baraka will be joining us on them, but you're more than welcome to come back. I know you'll be right there in the hunt for the race, but what we also can do, and we'll work to see if we can set up a joint a joint phone banking time that we can call voters in New York to remind them to go out and vote and submit their ballots, and we can do that the next week. So sign up. You can do that with Win with Black Men. We are going to be doing phone banking calls to get voters out in New York for Michael Blake. All right, Brother Blake, get back to the trail. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing,
man. That would be amazing. We would love to do a virtual phone bank, and I'll join you all the first Sunday in June. Again, I'll come back as well.
Sounds good,
Brother Thompson, thank you so much, and thank you for the endorsement, everybody.
Always, brother. Always. Be strong out there, my man. All right, everybody. I'm going to bring back up Robert on our team to spotlight him, and Jeremy to spotlight him as well, because they're actually the people that. Wait. How can I put? Oh, did I lose Jeremy? No, he's still here. Oh, there he is. I'm going to try to spotlight Jeremy too. There we go. Added the spotlight. Okay. Robert and Jeremy. So if anybody knows about Women Black Men and all the work that we do here, there are a core group of people that get the job done every single day. Robert runs our barbershop and a lot of our programs. Jeremy makes sure that we can raise money to pay for those programs. And then we have Chandler, who is still on, who runs our social media. John does our resource emails and a lot of our push call and technology on the back end, on the organizing side. We've got Tomas, who's volunteering out of New Jersey, leading a lot of our organizing work. And then Ace, who does all of our graphics right now. That is our team. I could not, and we could not get any of this done without all of those individuals. So I wanted to give them an opportunity. I'm going to actually take me out of the spotlight and turn it over to you, Robert and Jeremy. Robert, go ahead and talk about our barbershop program.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for that, Khalil. So touching on our barbershop program, we have a very eventful month in May. We have a lot of activations. We'll be all over the country. So I'll just go through some of our dates, all of our dates we have this month, and how you guys can RSVP for them. Then I'll also touch a little bit on our state captain program and how you guys can get connected with that. So starting first, we recently just had our DC and Virginia activation, which was on the 17th yesterday. So yeah, that kicked things off for this month. Next we'll be in New York on the 20th. After that we'll be in Michigan on the 22nd. Then on the 23rd we'll be in Illinois. The 24th we'll be in Maryland and Pennsylvania. The 29th will be in Georgia. And then on the 31st we'll be in Florida and North Carolina. And you guys can on our website on winwithblackmen.org/barbershop tour abbreviated whatever state it is. So if it's Maryland, it'll be -MD at the end. If it's New York, it'll be -NY at the end. You guys can go under the RSVP and also see specifically what city we'll be in that state. So I know in Illinois we'll be in Chicago. Maryland, we're in Prince George's County, Montgomery County, and Baltimore. Uh, I know in Michigan we're in Clinton Township, I believe, and Detroit, and I forgot somewhere else. But go on there, RSVP, and also see specifically what state we'll be in. And also, if you're interested in being a state captain, um, you can email me. My email is robert@winwithblackmen.org. I'll also drop it in the chat. But you can also sign up on our website at winwithblackmen.org/state-captain, which I'll also drop in the chat. So yeah, thank you. I'll kick it over to Jeremy now.
Hi, everyone. Rather than speak to any one idea tonight, I just want to say how grateful we are for this community and for the energy that you bring. Everything we build, including our fundraising, starts with the trust and commitment of people like you. And that's the foundation, and that's what we're focused on. But before we close out tonight, I want to take a moment to talk about what fuels this work. Win with Black Men is not just a name, it's a promise that we will build spaces where Black men are heard, where our leadership is invested in, and where our power shapes policy, not just protest. But that promise takes real resources. Every convening, every town hall, every tool, every activation we develop to move conversations into action, they're all possible because of people like you. And if you believe in what we're building and Black men not just showing up, but showing out as organizers, candidates, voters, and change makers, we need you to be a part of funding this mission. Whether it's $5, $50, or whatever you can give, your support helps us keep this Black-led, community-centered organization growing. And you can donate right now at winwithblackmen.com/donate. And I'm sure one of us will drop that link in the chat. But let's be real, nobody's coming to save us but us. So let's invest in us and let's win with Black men together. And I'll send it back over to you, Robert.
Actually, we're going to come over to Chandler because we saw in the chat Dr. Marcus Lewis was giving a shout out to our graphics and social media team. A lot of our work obviously is here as Black led. Chandler, why don't you just talk about your strategy on our social media and how you've been doing such a great job?
All right, perfect. Well, so a big part of our strategy is education. So on social media, people really do go, it's our new source of education. People are now using social media more than Google. When people have a question now, they're going and typing the question into TikTok instead of Google search. So we're trying to be a hub of reliable information, really highlighting things that are pertinent to Black men. And so going along with that, we also want to celebrate the Black men who are changing communities. So for this month, Mental Health Awareness Month, we're actually highlighting 10 Black men who are changing the face of mental health. So these are Black men who are actively shattering stigmas around emotional wellness and therapy and different techniques. And like we have someone who actually does like barbershops talks, like he does therapy in combination with barbershops. And it's just a very cool concept. And there's so many people out there. So stay tuned on our social media. Win with Black Men. Black is BLK. We'll be dropping the 10 Black men in these next coming days to the end of the month who are redefining mental health.
All right, there you go, Chandler. She leads all of our social media. I'm gonna come back on and jump back in here over to the spotlight as well because they're doing it. All right. Well, team, all of you tonight, I'm gonna see what we have in the questions over here. Okay, I think that's all about Brother Blake, which is great. Back over to our chat. As we close out tonight, we have some amazing work that's planned here for the remainder of 2025 as we get started in 2026. There's some great races and great candidates, especially Black men who are running. As we talked about, Ras Baraka is running to be governor of New Jersey. Michael Blake is running to be mayor of New York. We've got LeVar Stoney, who's running to be lieutenant governor of Virginia. We have 2 state Supreme Court races in Pennsylvania and in Wisconsin. And then we have a ton of mayoral and city council and local races that are happening this year that we need everybody to get dialed into. So if there's any final questions, we would love to take them from our chat. If not, we understand. Tonight doesn't always have to be a long call, but it is about the engagement that we do for our community. When we are back on, and Robert, keep me honest here, our next call will be, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up. Oh, man. June. Of course, when you need the phone to work faster, it doesn't. Sunday, June 1st is going to be our next call. And we are excited, and we are working with Mayor Ras Baraka's team to make sure he can be present. He had a live debate that we thought would be working out the schedule, but just didn't work out. We found that out this morning. And so forgive us on that. But he will be here next Sunday, on Sunday, June 1st. And we're going to continue to do this amazing work. Make sure you sign up for your resource email. It'll be in your inbox on this Tuesday. Yes, Kevin, thank you for reminding us. May 25th is the 5th anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. So we will continue to watch that. Chandler, let's flag that for our lovely team to make sure we remember his life and what he stood for, and those that took it. We had asked a question earlier in the year: if the current president pardoned Derek Chauvin, how would you feel? And we got some feedback on that. We might get that post back up so people can share their thoughts as we're approaching this 5th anniversary on May 25th. But again, thank you to the amazing team that's here. Thank you to one of you in this chat tonight. Reach out to Robert and offered your help to help us make sure these Zoom calls go a little bit more effective and keep that high standard of excellence. So we really appreciate that. And truly, thank you all for signing up tonight. We're going to close out after an hour, but I hope my brother Roland, Bakari, Quentin, Michael, and we're going to have Mayor Baraka here all on Sunday, June 1st, so we can keep this conversation going. Thanks, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.